everybody. I'm Brian.
And I'm Brian.
And this is Brian versus Brian, episode 142, Cocaine Bear, or Cocaña Bear. Yeah. You heard that, right? Cocaine Bear. That's a movie.
Cocaine Bear. It exists.
That's a thing, and we're doing it. Okay.
Yeah, just jumped onto Peacock. I don't know. I was on the fence of seeing it in the theater, and I was like, I'll just wait. And I wasn't expecting it to come to Peacock. I was kind of surprised. Like, oh, shit.
I thought it looked interesting.
Yeah.
But based on inspired by true events. I mean, I was watching this thing, and apparently the guy jumping out of the plane and his chute not going off is true, and like being found in someone's yard.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he was doing a bunch of coke up there, but he was like a military parachuter, so he was really good. They don't know why he didn't pull his chute. Maybe he hit the plane on the way down or something. They said probably just bad judgment and being high.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing based on skill. And then the bear part I read, it's like, yeah, the bear died from like eating like 4 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Because it was like pure uncut cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit and just put you out. So yeah, based on that, I guess.
That's quite a stretch.
Directed
it's
by
like it's like a horror movie where it's like, based on true events, and like the real event is like a light turned on in 1974, and then it becomes something like The Conjuring where there's demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So directed by Elizabeth Banks. We all know her.
Yeah.
She's in she's in the Hunger Games stuff. I guess she's in Pitch Perfect. She went on to direct, write, produce, and star in the action comedy film Charlie's Angels. You remember that? 2019?
Oh, yeah. I remember that controversy.
Yeah, that was lame.
I remember her blaming the box office flop on Men or something. So she phrased it in a really weird way. It's like, you can just admit that maybe it just wasn't advertised well, or people just weren't interested, but you gotta blame it on the man.
Yeah. I mean, I liked that other one. The freaking Lucy Liu,
Bill Murray,
whatever. Yeah, that one was good. Both of them. And the Chad.
Mm-hmm.
The Chad. Okay. So is this Ray Liotta's last movie?
I think so.
Yeah. And Ray Liotta, if you haven't guessed, plays a crime kingpin. He wanted to try something different. So, but they show the airplane, some guy like doing coke on it, and he's stupid movie coke where he's like doing karate moves in the air,
Woo!
Yeah, like people
he was having a
doing
good time.
coke.
Yeah.
And he's throwing stuff out the plane. And then they cut to like some news footage and what's like Dateline or something. I think that was real news footage.
Yeah, I think so too.
Of that guy talking about that thing. That's what it looked like. And then what, do we go to the police department? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the event. I don't remember if the 2 hikers come before the plane or after, because it does open like in the very beginning of these 2 this couple that encounter the bear, and his wife gets mauled. But I don't remember if that's before the airplane, or I guess it has to be after, right? Because the cocaine or the bear is already hopped up.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, foreigners. I couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Swedish or something. But yeah, she gets mauled. Somehow he's left alone somewhat. And then Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this movie, I can't remember any characters' names or anything because there's a lot of them and they really don't matter. It's just not really
Yeah.
about them, really. They're kind of like side characters to the bear, I guess. Uh, yeah, there's like this uh black police officer, sheriff guy trying to go find the cocaine, but it's out of his jurisdiction or something. So he's like bending the rules, and there's not much going on there. But there was some funny moments when he's probably the funniest part of this movie. This is called a horror comedy. I didn't find it to be very funny at all,
Yeah. We said the same thing
or,
after we were done watching it.
or to be very horror at all.
Hmm.
So, but any moment that was somewhat good was usually from him. Um, when he's like talk about dogs. It's like, did your dog like to play fetch? Oh yeah, I loved fetch.
He's like sad.
Yeah, then you come to find out he adopted a dog, and it's like a little Lopso Opso or Shih Tzu type thing, like
Hmm.
girly fancy dog. He's like calling them. He's like, well, there must have been some kind of problem because they told me I was gonna get like a Labrador, like a fun one, like a man's best friend type of dog. This thing seems more fancy. And yeah, he's just complaining about the dog, and then later he asks the other deputy to watch the dog, and he calls like immediately. Like I just remembered I forgot to say goodbye to I forget the dog's name, but I wonder if they care about things like that. Oh, who knows? Anyways, how's she doing?
That was a cute moment because you know it's insinuating that he's trying to get rid of it, but then he calls to like check. It's like, oh, he does care about the little dog.
Yeah, and then by the end, I think he says some more stuff about the dog, but he's like dying, and I think it shows some flashbacks of the dog, and it's like, oh, he's not
Yeah.
never gonna see the dog again. They end up giving the dog to one of the drug guys. Here you go. And another thing that was funny was when like, oh, where's the dog? Oh, I left it in the car. You left a dog in the car? You left your kid.
Yeah, your grandchild watching TV
Yeah.
back in fucking Oklahoma or whatever it was.
That was really funny. So, I guess the main kind of thrust of the story is the two kids. Um, don't remember why they're at this park with national park. I don't know, state
They want
park.
to paint the waterfall, or
Oh, that
the
makes
little
sense.
girl does.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. They can't paint water. Can't paint water, ma'am. Yeah, they're going there and they find some cocaine because they had an assembly and this is what it looks like. And then they want to do some. Gets a knife out and she's like, "How much do I do?" He's like, "Just a little bit." Just like a 4-inch blade.
Yeah,
just
he's like a tablespoon.
I was like,
Pulls out
a
his
couple
fucking-
tablespoons. I was like, geez. I thought she was gonna just snort it, and then they're kids, so they don't know. So she just tries to eat it.
Yeah.
And like she spits it out, and he tries it and spits it out. That was kind of funny. Um, I guess. And then, did they see the bear right then, or take?
Yeah, I think so. I think it comes up on him at some point in that scene. I like the little kid ended up being overall kind of annoying, but I do like that scene a little bit because of his comedy. Because he's like, "Well, that's not how it looks like. That's not how cocaine looks like on the street." And it's like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "I do it all the time with Benny."
Oh yeah,
That was
I do it
pretty good.
after every Sunday after church.
But yeah, I think the
No,
bear rolls up on at some point.
no. When he tries, I thought it's when he tries the cocaine. He eats it, and he's like, "Oh, that don't taste like the cocaine I normally get."
Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know. Bear scares him. I don't even remember the bear kidnapping the girl, but later on, that's the case. Taking her to his lair, or her lair, the bear's girl, with some cubs. I do like that they painted the bear in a positive light somewhat. Like, this poor bear.
Yeah,
It's
you
got a
do care
family.
for it.
It's
Yeah.
it's just trying to live his life, and this fucking cocaine gets dropped on it. Um, yeah, Ray Liotta is like the main drug guy. He was in charge of the people flying the plane, and so he's gonna go look for it because the Colombians are after him, and they won't accept anything but their coke. And then he's got a henchman that kind of works for him, who's that O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Hmm.
We got Ice Cube Jr. in
Yeah,
this,
Ice Cube Jr.
and then we got young Han Solo in this too.
Yep,
I don't remember his role. Oh yeah, he was the son.
he's
of
the son. Yeah.
Ray Liotta. Yeah, and so they're all three looking for it. And then there's this other side plot of subplot of the heck is it called? Like the park ranger woman.
Hmm.
She's ridiculous. She's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Then there's three like trailer park kids trying to get some coke too. Almost like the rock pile from Trailer Park Boys. Hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought the one was pretty funny with the they won't ever give me a real job. They think I can't, I can't control this park, and I'm out of control or something. And then she sees the bear and she tries to shoot it. Shoots that guy right through his fucking head.
Oh yeah.
Ah! she can never like hit anything.
Yeah.
She's just shooting. Like that one time when in the ambulance and it's running up on him. She's trying to shoot it, and he's like, "Shoot the bear, the giant black bear." It's pretty funny. Yeah, she sucks at shooting, and the way she does is pretty brutal. Grinds her face on the ground. Huh?
Yeah. Attached
None
to
of
the
this-
stretcher.
Yeah, none of this stuff was very brutal. I heard it was going to be, but I was kind of like a lot of it's kind of off-screen type of little stuff.
Hmm.
And then you see like a foot ripped off here and there, someone bit in the thigh. Ray Liotta's guts getting ripped out by the cubs is probably the worst thing.
Yeah, and it's mostly CG. All the effects too. Like
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
get that sense of like realism, like an actual prosthetic gushing blood. It's just all kind of CG type stuff.
Yeah, and then of course, the bear CG just doesn't
Yeah.
help. And it's like always wet, so it's even like weirder CG. It's always wet and shit. It's like an alien. Yeah, I don't know who this movie's for. I mean, it's not that funny, and wasn't a good like. You think coming into this, you're gonna get a good just like gore fest of this bear terrorizing people, but then it's like this B movie, drug plot. Like find the coke. I don't know. It's a very strange movie to me.
Yeah, it's you go into something like Cocaine Bear, with not extreme high expectations. You expect a lot of gore. You expect to be laughing at it or laughing with it rather, as long as it's self-aware of what it is. And I don't think it really achieved either of those things. Like I don't think any of the set pieces actually I will admit the ambulance chase I thought was at least a pretty fun action set piece. But other than that, it's nothing really interesting happens. All the characters think they're funnier than they are, or like the movie thinks they're funnier than they are. So some of the jokes fall flat. That one guy from Modern Family, I could not fucking stand him. And it's like, I think the movie thinks he's being really funny, but he's just annoying. I just think there's a lot of characters like that where it's like, oh, look how funny this character is. And it's like, no, he's just a fucking annoying. And yeah, the kids and the mom, I don't even know why they needed to be in the movie, because I feel like the main plot of the movie were the drug dealer guys. Like the the mom doesn't really have much screen time, like compared to the drug dealer stuff. So it's just like, why even bother putting them in the movie? Like, I guess to give it some heart. But does a movie with called Cocaine Bear need, a heart? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like, there's so many characters, so much going on. It's like you could have just stuck with the drug dealer stuff and had fun with that. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah. Uh. Yep. I agree. I don't know what the heck. Either lean into it hard and just turn it
Yeah.
into like a slasher, or don't do it. I don't know. Or make it a stupid stoner comedy if you want, because it seems like you're kind of stoner comedy, coker comedy. I don't know what they call it. It's a
Yeah.
new genre.
There's a
Oh,
movie I thought I was watching it like, man, they should have done something more like that. There's a movie that came out. God, when was that? 2009, 2010. It was a Piranha remake. I think it was produced by Eli Roth, and that movie's a lot of fun. That movie is gory as shit. It's funny. It's self-aware. It knows that it's a movie about killer piranhas. So if Cocaine Bear didn't really, whet your appetite, I highly suggest watching Piranha, because that movie lives up to kind of the silliness, B movie horror, gore fest that this didn't really.
Piranha.
Yeah,
Wasn't that James Cameron?
I think he did Piranha 3 back in like the 80s.
Oh.
This is like a this is like a remake from like the mid 2000s. But yeah, that movie is awesome. This movie not so much.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was gonna be short and sweet. There ain't much to talk about in this damn thing. So yeah. It's there.
Yeah.
I can't believe a movie like this made it to theaters. It's like, this just seems like a streaming service movie to me.
Yeah, a Netflix original movie that would
Yeah.
fit perfectly there. Like, yeah, okay, that was cool, I guess. And then you move on.
Like, this
Yeah.
is a weird thing to give a lot of money to and to promote and put it in a theater.
Hmm.
I don't know. I want to look at the box office numbers real quick, because this couldn't have done very well. Budget 30 to 35 million, box office 87 million.
Mm.
Yeah. So you made a little bit. Was it worth the
Yeah.
trouble? To these to Universal Pictures? Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
Trying to think there's any like this movie just kind of washed over me. To be honest, I'm trying to think of again, outside of the ambulance scene, I don't think there's really anything that was like, oh shit, we're having fun now. Like, most of it's just the bear running through the woods, attacks, and that's kind of the end of the scene. At least the ambulance chase was,
Yeah,
not
and I like that.
mesmerizing, but it was a fun. It was
I
ridiculous.
like that. I like that guy's in a movie. That
Oh, the TikTok guy,
ambulance paramedic. Yeah, his shit's pretty funny.
Yeah. Hmm.
I love his shit. It's like, oh my god, she's sitting. Is yeah, this is work. It's not a fucking Survivor challenge. Okay, it shouldn't bother you.
Oh, the
you don't-
clerk thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't like people sitting, you're gonna be pissed off when you realize what an office is.
Did you see his promotion video for this one? For this movie? It was pretty good.
No,
He's like,
wasn't it?
Cocaine Bear, fucking, you don't need to watch 15 movies to understand. You get it in the first two words, Cocaine Bear. And I don't know, his whole promotion for this movie is pretty good. You should watch. It's funnier than the movie, to be honest.
His TikToks are funnier than the movie.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
They're awesome. I love them. Yeah.
Even when it ended, I was like, wait, we're done now? It was like they have this waterfall set piece, I guess. And then I thought the movie was going to continue going. And then they cut to after, because it's at nighttime or whatever. They show the pan up to the moon. I'm like, okay, here's your transition to day, and they're still being hunted. And then it just cuts to them back in the parking lot getting their cars. I'm like, oh, I guess we're wrapped up. All right, I guess that was it, huh? I don't know. It felt really short. It's like nothing
Yeah.
really happened. I'm like, okay, we're just done now.
And then, well, and it makes you feel a little bit for for the Cubs at the end when they're like getting kicked by Ray
Oh
Liotta.
yeah. Get out of here, you fucking piece of shit.
Shoot them. No, I'm not going to shoot them. They're Cubs. Just give them the Coke, Dad. They want it. And then at the very end, we see like another family or something. You just hear voices, and it's a point of view shot from like their camera looking at the bears, the two Cubs and the mom playing. And then they look over all three with the evil intent.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just fades. It's like, what, are they still high, or come on? Now they're just malicious killers because all this happened, or what?
Yeah. Did you see the mid-credit funny scene?
No, I left. As soon as the credits start.
It just cuts to like a quick, funny little bit, but it's the one of the kids, the guy with the yellow T-shirt, who walks the drug dealers to the woods. He's on the side of the road holding up a sign that says "Going to New York" or like "New York, going to New York," and he has the bag of cocaine over his shoulder. And this truck pulls up with a bunch of sheep in the back, and he like throws the bag in the back of the truck with the sheep, and then he gets in the car, and then it goes for a couple of feet, and then it stops, and then the guy gets out and like looks at the sheep, and then jumps back into the thing, grabs the bag, looks at him again, and then goes back in the car, as if like, no, we're not gonna play with the whole animals eating cocaine thing. So it's kind of a funny little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Wow, I don't know, man. It was meaningless. It just happened. It was just there when the movie happened. I don't know, 5. It's the best I could give it, I think.
Yeah, I was coming in at 5.7, so we're kind of in the vein. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. Again, there's just, not to repeat myself, there was no like fun, suspenseful set piece to kind of latch yourself into. No characters you really give a shit about. There's some funny dialogue. Yeah, I do agree. The cop is definitely one of the funniest parts of the movie. And there's some.
He reminds me a lot of Stanley from The Office.
Yeah, for sure.
The way he delivers some of this stuff.
Just kind of deadpan. There's some funny lines, but like I in the very beginning, those two hikers, when they first see the bear, I think the husband's like, "It's a black bear, but we got to fight it." And, the way he delivered that, like, "We're gonna fight this bear," I thought it was kind of humorous. But so there's a lot of like lines like that that are kind of funny. But overall, it wasn't as funny as maybe it thought it was. And yeah, it just came and went. It's a movie, it has characters, it has a bear, and the credits rolled.
It is a movie.
It is a movie at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people liked it. I was just kind of like, whatever. I was expecting more fun out of it. I didn't find it to be all that fun. Again, aside from that paramedic scene that I thought was pretty great. Yeah, it wasn't that good. 5.7.
5.7, 5.0. It was meh. Okay. Check it out. Definitely not as exciting as cocaine or bears, but
yeah.
whatever. Anyways, we appreciate you coming by and watching. As always, you can check us out on Apple Music and Spotify. We're always here on YouTube. Pretty much every Sunday. We've only missed that mark maybe once or twice. So it's pretty consistent over here.
I think we're coming up on 3 years. Pretty crazy.
2020 we started this whole deal.
August 2020.
Mm-hmm. When that flu started going around. Something like that. I don't remember what it was. It was something.
It was
it was in the news for a while. Yeah. People were getting sick. But then it was like 28 weeks later or something. Mm-hmm.
It's starting again.
We got a variant here. All right, y'all. Yeah, come check us out. Come hang out with us every Sunday. We appreciate it. Till the next Vs, we say peace.
Peace.